How to program for the dead hang. This is a follow-up from a video that I released several years ago, and I've had many questions and comments since then. So at the end of this video, I'm going to explain some of the questions that I've had in the comment section, and then I'm also going to go through the basics of how to program the dead hang. To get stronger for the dead hang, you need to do it at least a minimum 3 times per week. You can do a little bit more in terms of frequency. You can go up to 4 or 5 times per week. But at a bare minimum, 3 times per week is the key to getting stronger. If you're someone who is advanced at the dead hang, and by advanced I mean you're getting times of around 2 to 5 minutes per dead hang without fatigue, then you are someone that's going to benefit from adding additional weight. So you can add weight via a weights vest or a weights belt, where you can hang a 5 or 10 or 15 kilo weight plate around your waist. This is obviously going to add an extra stimulus to make it a lot harder for you to hang onto that bar. However, if you're a beginner, don't worry if you're getting tired around that 5 or 10 second mark, or even less. You basically just want to be consistent with this. If you can only hold on for a maximum of 10 seconds, that is totally fine. But you'll notice over the weeks and months, your strength progress will be astronomical. You'll double your time, you'll triple your time in several weeks, as long as you are consistent with doing it a minimum 3 times per week. If holding your body weight is even too hard and you can't actually hold on for the full 1 second, then I can suggest you use your feet. If you get a bar that's a little bit lower and you can rest your feet on a bench or on the floor, you can take some of that body weight off, and then over time you can reduce that body weight by gradually taking your feet off. But just remember, consistency is the king with this one. For me personally, I find that 4 or 5 times per week, doing about 2 sets before I start my strength training exercise for about 60 seconds has a great benefit for me in terms of my mobility, but also my grip strength as well. A simple formula just to basically work out how long you should be gripping the bar for to get stronger is you want to work for 70% of your max. So for example, if 60 seconds is your maximum that you can do without letting go, then you basically work out 70% from 60 is 42. So 42 seconds is my working set. So if I'm going to do 2 or 3 working sets, I'm going to hold for 42 seconds. The idea here is you're not working to exhaustion and to complete fatigue. You're going to get those adaptations without actually going to that full fatigue point. Testing your maximum, you shouldn't be doing this every week or every second week. You should be doing this between sort of 4 to 6 weeks to truly get a representation of your maximum. That is for intermediate and advanced. If you're a beginner, you'll notice that your max times are going to explode. They're going to go from 10 seconds to 30 seconds to a minute in a relatively quick period. So for beginners, you might have to retest your maximum strength, but for anyone who's intermediate, so anyone who can get around that 45 to 60 seconds or 2 minutes and above, considered you're advanced, then you need to be retesting yourself, your max, every 4 to 6 weeks. Frequently asked questions. First one is active hang versus a passive hang. Some people think that a passive hang can be detrimental, can tear the muscles, can do damage to the body. If you don't have any orthopedic impingements or injuries, a passive hang is fantastic for your mobility. So a passive hang is basically you are just gripping with those hands as hard as you can, but the rest of your body, so from the neck down, is relaxed. So the hands are on, but the rest of the body, you're trying to let your body weights go through those hands, and you'll get all those decompressive forces on your spine, on your shoulders, and it should feel relatively nice. The active hang is a slightly more advanced version where you're going to stiffen up the core and you're going to bring your legs slightly forward of your hands. So you're almost representing a hollow body position where your legs come forward, you're engaging those abs in that sort of tucked position. You're trying to squeeze those shoulder blades back and down and engage those lats. You will notice this one's a lot harder. You will get a little bit more shaking in the body. There isn't one that is better than the other. The active hang is probably more of an advanced movement for someone who's getting into gymnastics. If you're looking for more mobility and just basic grip strength, the passive hang is totally fine. Should I continue if I have pain? No, is the short answer. Always when you have pain, you need to go and see an exercise rehab specialist or an allied health specialist that will actually clear you for that exercise. So don't just think you have shoulder pain, you've heard on the internet that it can be good for your shoulders. Just get that clearance first. Better to be safe than sorry later. But the key is to make sure that you understand the difference between pain and fatigue. So pain, short, sharp feelings in an isolated area, whereas fatigue is more of an overall feeling, a burning sensation in that muscle. Just make sure you're not taking that easy option. Will it make me taller? Sadly, no. Otherwise, I would be at least 7 foot by now because I've been doing it for so long. But in saying that it doesn't make you taller, it does help with your posture. So it does help elongate the spine. So if you're someone who slouches a lot and you stand in that bent position, over time, if your posture improves, you will actually stand taller, but it's not gonna make you grow taller. Can I do it with my feet touching the ground? Ideally not. But as I mentioned before, if you are a beginner and you can't do 1 or 2 seconds, then you can use a box or a bench or a bar that's low enough so you can put your feet on the floor, and you're gradually reducing the weight over time. But if you're getting over 5 or 10 seconds, you don't need anything, and you should have your feet dangling from the floor. So that's it from me. I hope that has cleared up some of the questions and you understand now the science of how to program the dead hang and how to get actually stronger. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And that is it from now. Bye for now.